most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Knee pain? Question mark. We have 5 surprising exercises that can really help. Now, these are ones you...
Well, that surprises me, Bob.
Yeah, you would be surprised because you would look at these and you think, what do they have to do with knee pain?
Sure.
But they do. They're all, the whole body's connected, and you'll find out how that works. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, you want to go to bobandbrad.com because we're always giving something away. Brad, what are we giving away?
Bob, we're the infamous
Booyah
Stik.
Stik.
Say no more.
Well, you can use this thing for so many things besides, self-defense. But go to the giveaway section on Bob and Brad. You can go ahead and sign up, or you can go to Facebook, Bob and Brad. It'll be pinned to the top of the page, the contest. And finally, if you want a short version of us, go to Twitter or Instagram. We got a 60-second version of our program.
There you go.
So, booyah. All right. A lot of times, Brad, poor movement patterns lead to tight muscles in your knees and your thighs, and this can cause pain. This can lead to pain.
Yep,
or poor movement habits can cause the pain themselves, and we're going to show you how that works.
Right, and that's what therapists do, and all these gurus and therapists try and figure that out to show people, therapists like us.
Yeah. So let's start off with one stretch right away that you should do.
Sure.
You have the quadricep muscle here, and you have the tensor fasciae lata, which runs here. And if those are, especially the tensor fasciae lata is tight, it's going to cause your femur to internally rotate like this. And if you're walking and the knee tends to collapse like this, you're going to get increased pain in the knee eventually.
The joint is not lining up.
It's not lining up like it should. So, and plus the quadricep, if it's tight, it's going to put more force on the knee itself anyway.
Sure.
So Brad's going to show you kind of step 1 stretch for you beginners. Why don't you do it with your leg up on the bed first, Brad?
Sure. Which stretch you want me to do, Bob?
The tensor fasciae lata, the hip flexor.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm going to take this leg down, this leg, and
that's just a real stretch. But you look at his leg came up a little bit with that. Did you notice that?
I do that.
Yep. See, so it is a little bit of tight there, Brad. You need
subtle,
to work on this.
But it's there, yeah.
So you do that one. You go ahead and do the other side. Good. What, 30 seconds, Brad? 30 seconds to a minute.
I'd say hold it for 30 seconds.
You like a little pressure on, pressure off.
Well, that's what I like to do. What does this book say?
No, that's fine. It's fine. Okay, then we're gonna add to the stretch now.
Right. So this you're not gonna be able to do on the floor. You're gonna have to do it on the edge of a bed.
Yeah, or you may have to go across the bed if you have like a headboard and a footboard.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So
we're not gonna
bring it all the way off. Yep, a little bit further there, Brad.
All right.
I'll get this out of the way so you can see.
You can see the lines.
Yeah.
They're kind of, the hip will extend a little bit.
Now, look at him. He's a little bit tight here too, because look at if we pull the knee here, and I'll go ahead and pull that leg up. That leg is still coming up a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as much as you can, you want to have the foot going down, and that's really going to pull in there then, right, Brad? I imagine you're feeling that?
Oh, yeah. It's getting better as I lay here and stretch it a little bit. I'm relaxing.
There is a way to stretch this, by kneeling down and doing this, but being that you have knee pain, I don't want to teach them how to do it that way. So,
and we really should mention, we take this for granted a lot, is the person really needs to focus on your breathing. Breathe in deep and just relax and let the gravity pull this leg down. Because if you breathe shallow and your muscles are tight, you might do this all day long without letting that muscle relax.
Right.
That's key.
Great stretch for really almost most people, because a lot of people have tight there, tight there, not only from the way they walk, but from sitting a lot.
Right.
So
as a matter of fact, Bob, I'm just going to throw this in. I was at a wedding a couple of weeks ago, a couple hours north of here, and one of the groomsmen come up. He says, "I love that video on that hip stretch, hip flexor stretch."
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's like, oh, good.
Funny. So, all right. So next thing, believe it or not, the other, I don't know if you call this an exercise, but an exercise in changing your life, I guess. What we're going to show you is a different way to walk, because a lot of people tend to walk and they have a lot of too much stress on their knee. What they do is when the foot hits the ground, their forces, the knee and everything is up in front of the hip.
Right.
And when I hit here, that's going to send a force up in through the knee.
Right.
That's going to cause knee pain. I got a patient right now that's dealing with this.
Sure.
So what you want to do is when you hit, you actually want to take a shorter stride and hit on your forefoot and heel almost at the same time. So, and that way you have a little bit of bend to your knee.
Sure.
Right now I'm hyperextended.
It's like taking this Booyah Stik and jamming the ground.
Right. It's going to give you a force right back.
Right.
But if you have a slight bend of the knee, that acts as a shock absorber almost.
Yep.
So a lot of people say when they're working on this, you shorten your stride. You're going to try to hit the arch and the heel at the same time. And it almost feels like they're falling forward. You know?
Yeah. It's a different.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. But this can have a huge effect on your knee pain. It's just like when we tell people not to stand with their knees locked.
Right.
And we're going to show you right here, give you a little demonstration of why that is. You want to grab the microphone, Brad?
Yes, I do. And, you know, this whole concept is identical to the whole concept of the research and all the books you can read on forefoot running to minimize stress through your joints when you run. But it's
yeah, very good point, Brad. We just did a video on how to decrease the stresses on your joints with running.
Right.
And you kind of spearheaded that one. And the same thing, if you hit heel first, if you're a heel runner, what's going to happen is instead of hitting like this with a slight bend in your knee, I put a peanut here.
Oh yeah.
So now hopefully this is going to work. And if I hit heel first, ooh, that's the stresses you're putting on the meniscus or the cartilage.
Right.
In every time you walk like that. No?
Well, there's a little.
Yeah, there's a little exaggeration here.
Right, but at least it brings that point to you and it makes you think about it so that you don't forget one of the big points of this video.
So you want your knees unlocked, weight bear more through the arch, hip is over the knee at the initial strike. When you're striking, you're not the foot and the knee are not way ahead of you. They're right below the hip.
Sure.
Okay. I hope that helps. It's a difficult thing to change, but it can make a big difference in knee pain, especially arthritis.
Right.
So got to move my peanuts here.
Yeah. Well, we can eat those later for lunch.
All right. Third thing, clamshells. Again, a lot of times the muscles that prevent your leg from internally rotating like this and putting increased stress on your knees are weak. So this is an easy one to do. Brad's going to demonstrate how to do it. So you're going to go ahead and put your ankles, line them up together, one on top of another. And yep, you're just going to work on doing basically, he's a clam.
Yeah. Or like Pac-Man,
Yep.
But yeah, so you're going to do them slow, not fast. And you want to bring it up high. And it is amazing because you can put a resistance band around your knees to give it more resistance. But if you do these like this and you do them with slow, with real good, what's the word? Form.
Yeah. I think you're going to feel it.
Because we're working little muscles.
Yeah,
now.
This is not a big muscle. This is
kind of like doing rotator cuff exercise in the shoulder.
Very good point.
I mean, for therapists, you understand. If you're not, say, what are you talking about?
You could actually take your hand and even give yourself a little resistance.
Manual.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I did that the other day, Brad.
Oh,
that's why
you could probably use the Booyah Stik.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Next, we're going to go into a lot of people are not engaging their butt enough when they're walking, believe it or not. And so the next one is gluteal pumps. Do you want to do them or should I do them?
No, I want to do them, Bob.
Okay.
So we're talking about the gluteus maximus.
Yes, gluteus maximus here.
Largest muscle in the body.
Right.
A lot of times it's crazed as and reported as.
If you start walking like I'm telling you, your butt's going to kick in more as opposed to the hamstrings, and that's what you want. So now you can do it prone. You can do it completely prone, Brad, if you want to, and start that way.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, and you're going to bring it up like this.
So we want to bend the knee.
Yep, and go straight up in the air then. Straight up to the
why are we bending the knee, Bob?
Because you're focusing right on the gluteus maximus as opposed to bringing in the hamstring.
Yeah. So
you're getting some hamstring, but your leg's not completely straight up.
Well, I can't see it, Bob. You have to help me out. My proprioception is a little off, I guess. Now, just a warning: if you're prone to hamstring cramps, if you get one, you got to straighten that knee out and right away. Some
If you're
people,
prone to hamstring cramps, that means your hamstring is being too dominant and that you're not using the butt muscle enough. Sometimes what we have people do before you even lift a leg, squeeze a quarter between your butt crack and then go ahead and lift.
yeah, that's known as a gluteal cleft.
Okay, a gluteal cleft. All right. The butt crack.
Yeah.
But you want to kick that butt in.
I can feel those glutes working
Yeah.
as we do this.
Now another way would be you could actually get up in the plank position, Brad. Yeah, like that, or
You mean the push-up leg?
Yep, you could.
Oh, yeah.
You could go like this, Brad, if you wanted to. Yep,
Oh,
there you
yeah,
go,
yeah.
and then lift up. Yep. And you want to try to keep the back straight. Don't arch too much, but yeah, you're just working the butt here.
Yeah, I got to tighten. This is good for the core too, because I got to
Yeah.
tighten those stomach muscles up aggressively to.
It's a
try
little
and
more
maintain it.
advanced.
Can we do it in quadruped too?
Yep, you can do
Hands
it
and
quadruped.
knees?
Yep, you can do it all sorts of ways here.
And keep that knee bent.
Yep.
To me, this one works at the best. You're doing a lot of range of motion.
You still have trouble keeping that foot straight up in the. You don't even realize you're doing it, do you?
Well, I'm a kind of my
Yeah,
hamstrings
you're worried about
do
your
cramp.
hamstring. Yeah.
When they then I got to straighten it out.
Yeah, we just talked about it with Brad that he might need to actually work that butt muscle a little more. Okay, the last one. This is now for someone who maybe has arthritis and they've already lost some motion in their knee. Anytime you lose motion in your knee, you want to regain it because it'll actually could decrease the pain levels. Oh, we're actually running over here, aren't we?
Oh my goodness.
So we'll give me a clue if I run over. So one thing, if you want to work on straightening, you can actually make sure, like if this knee is not straightening as much as this knee, or let's go the opposite. This knee is bending and I can't get it any straighter than that. I'm going to work on this leg. Pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off. You can do it throughout the day. You regain that motion, it'll help decrease the pain.
Now, don't get too aggressive with this. If
Yeah.
it creates sharp pain or even pain, like it's just got to be a stretch pain.
There should be no pain. Exactly right, Brad. You're correct. I mean,
can feel a little
stretch pain. Yeah,
which isn't really pain, but some
And
people.
the first day don't do more than 10.
Yeah.
Because I had one guy, he was swearing at me the second day because he went a little crazy.
Yeah.
So-
So be gentle.
And then you can work on knee flexion too. And you
Oh,
can just
yeah.
do that in a seated position here. You can just go ahead and pressure on, pressure off. If you're lacking some knee bend, that's a good one to go ahead. You can do it laying down on bed too.
Oh yeah.
But
right before you get out of bed.
yeah, right out of bed. And you're kind of doing it when you do your stretch.
Right.
Yeah,
The
but
other
you can-
stretch. You may have to start with your hands under here. As it gets better, then you can collapse it all the way for full range of motion, depending on your situation.
But try these exercises. Really try the walking thing. I'd really like to get feedback on that, on how that worked for you.
Sure.
Because changing your walking can change. If you're pounding every step, there's a reason why your knee is hurting.
Sure.
So arthritis doesn't mean it has to hurt. Because you have arthritis,
Right.
if you
Yep.
don't flare it up. So,
Yep.
all right. Thanks everybody for watching.